Hey guys, I am looking way rougher than I wanted to for this video, but it is what it is. I needed to get it done and out of the way with, and I figured I would do it during Jackson's nap. So as soon as we started planning our Disney vacation, because I'm very active on Instagram, YouTube, sometimes I'm super active, sometimes I'm not. But I did get, and I think I've talked about it in the vlogs, I did get some interest and questions about our Disney vacation. So I thought that I would film a video. And over on Instagram, I did like the questions thing to see if you guys had any questions you specifically wanted me to address in the video. So I have those written down. There were some that were like the exact same thing, just worded differently. So I kind of made it one question. And then I also wanted to talk about what it's like planning a Disney vacation with a Disney travel agent. So before I get started, I want to let you guys know I started with Melissa Rowe, and she was really nice. She was really great. And I do want to mention her in this video because she did start out our Disney vacation. She did help plan like most of the stuff and like our meals and stuff, like with like me being like, you know, I want to go here and here. And so I do want to mention her in this video, but at this time she's not currently working. She had a baby, so I got switched to another Be Our Guest. I think that yeah, Be Our Guest. I'm like, did I forget the travel agency name? Be Our Guest agent. So Melissa Rose, who I started with, and I'm now with Denise Woody, and I absolutely love her. So I got the recommendation for Melissa from Erin Williams because I liked when I watched her vlogs, like how her vacation went. And Melissa's really great, but I don't know like if she's coming back to the travel agency or like what's going on with that. So I'm going to recommend you guys go, if you want to start planning your vacation, that you go with Denise. I love her. I will definitely plan with her again. I really like her energy, and I just can't say enough good things about her. She got us like every fast pass we wanted. She responds so quickly. Like, you can tell she really enjoys what she does. So I will go ahead, obviously, and link any social media for her and her contact information below. If you guys want to start planning, I cannot recommend her enough. And she even was able to take some of the plans we already had and, you know, be like, these meals are really close together, and fix things that I already had anxiety about, but I didn't know were fixable. So she is fantastic. So I just want to say that that is who I would recommend to plan with. She's fantastic. So, okay, first I'm going to address the questions. But just in case somebody's like randomly looking up videos, like what it's like to plan with a Disney travel agent, the thing I really like about it is that you can still like plan what you want to do and know what you want to do, and they can help you accomplish that if you're a busy mom or you're just busy in general, or you don't want to work like the back end of it and wait for fast passes and stuff and do that yourself. You can do as much as you want, or I guess as little. If you're going into it and you've never been to Disney and you don't really know, then you can kind of let your travel agent take the lead. For us, like when I was younger, I went to Disney almost like every year. And then as an adult, I've been going to Disneyland a lot because I have family in California, and every time we go out there, Justin and I will like try to do a stop in Disneyland. So our vacation originally started, we were going to go to Disneyland. I was going to see family. And then I realized, because I wanted to stay at the resort and stuff, because just with a toddler, I didn't want to be like the drive we usually make to Disneyland from the Santa Monica area. I didn't want to mess with it. But I was like looking into Disney World, and it was actually cheaper to go to Disney World for a longer amount of time. And so I was like, and then I found out that they did haircuts in Disney World, which I'll talk about. They're like first haircut packages. And that's really how our Disney World vacation started, because you guys know that we are so attached to Jackson's hair. It took him forever to get it. He still didn't even have hair on his second birthday, just some like wispy things up top. And like, so we are so emotionally attached to Jackson's hair that like his first haircut, I want it to be like super special. So to be quite honest, that is how our Disney World vacation got started. Plus the fact that it was actually cheaper to go there than Disneyland. And that's because Disneyland, I think they have like, what, 2 resorts? And Disney World has like a whole, I don't know, like multiple resorts. They have value ones, they have moderate, which is what we're staying at. They have, sorry, my allergies have been really weird. And I've been having like random coughs. And then I think people think I'm sick. It's just, so if this video is choppy from editing, it's because I had like a coughing fit. So anyways, what I was saying. Oh yeah, and then there's, I think they call it Contemporary for the more expensive ones, like the Polynesian and the Floridian, stuff like that, which I have stayed in as a child, and I would like to stay there like for the monorail later on. Like we plan on going right now while Jackson's younger. Probably every other year is going to be our plan for Disney vacations because we love Disney. And then I think at some point when he gets older, we'll probably start going every year. Or our dogs are not anywhere near old, and I don't even want to think of the day I lose them. Like I can't even think about it. They're my babies. But obviously a time will come when they will pass away. And at that point, we will probably start traveling a lot more. And at that point, we might start going every year. So anyways, eventually in the future, we want to stay at the Contemporary ones for the monorail and stuff. I really want to stay at Polynesian and stuff. But right now, I think we're good at the moderates. So anyways, I had things, my point is, I haven't been to Disney World since I was like 12, I think, maybe 10. And the thing is, you can do Disney World on the cheap, and you can go like, you know, super expensive. I say we're going all out except for the hotel, and I'll get to that. So you definitely can go cheaper than we're going, and I'm gonna bring that up because that was one of the questions. How much should I spend? But that's like the really great thing about Disney World. You can go super cheap. Like when I was a kid, most of the time, especially when we got older and it was like less hectic taking us to Disney World because we were older, we weren't in strollers, you know, it was like my parents would stay, you know, off property to save money. And there's lots of things you can do. You don't have to have a meal plan. I like the convenience of it all. So we have like, we got like all that. But it just really depends on your budget, and it is doable, which is one of the questions. I'm starting to answer questions, and I'm like, okay. So I hadn't been in so long. I was just like so confused because it's so different now. There's fast passes. Like you have to have reservations like 6 months out. It's just intense. And I've been doing Disney research and a part of like Disney groups, but I didn't feel confident enough to plan it. And to be honest, after my experience with Be Our Guest, I will never plan my own vacation by myself. They are amazing, and they take so much of the stress off you, whereas you can, you know, be like, you know I want to do this and this and this and this, and you fill out questions for them, and then they just handle the back end of it, and it's just an awesome way to plan. So I will probably never go without a TA again. Like never. Not that I have. Like, well, we went to Disneyland without any travel agents, but like I will never do Disney World without the help of a travel agency. So I'm going to jump into the questions, but I just want to kind of let you guys know why I went with a travel agency, because it's been so long and things were confusing to me. And I am a big planner, and I am like type A and super crazy about planning, but I liked that it was like I could tell them this is what I want exactly, and then they could fill in where I wasn't sure, and it's just a really good experience. I can't recommend it enough. Okay, so before I go over our vacation, I'm going to answer questions and get those out of the way with. Some of these, multiple people asked either the same question or kind of the same, I don't know, the same gist. So I kind of like made a smaller list out of the questions because a lot of them were very similar. So the big question is, everyone asked how much we spent. This is another thing about going with a travel agent, and I'm not sure if you can, I don't know, I'm sure you can do this maybe on your Disney account. I'll have to ask, but with a travel agent, you're able, if you need to make payments on your vacation, which you can do, you put $200 down and then you make payments up. I don't remember, it's like a couple months out or 30 days out or something, you have to be paid in full. And then if something happens and you're not able to save as much, you can move your vacation, which for me was another perk. And I'm not sure if you can do that on your own, so I don't want to say you can't. You might be able to, but it is possible to be saving and paying towards a Disney vacation. For us, we had the money up front, but I just went ahead and paid the deposit, and I want to make sure we got everything planned out and stuff before I pooled the money I had been saving and just made one big lump payment. And so that's what I did. So for us, we're going to be in parks for 3 days. We're going to be at our resort and like check in on Monday. We leave on a Friday. And for us, it's $3,000, a little over $3,000. And I'll go over like everything we got in a minute, but I could have done it for half, you know, like you don't have to spend as much as we did. For us, it's like Jackson's first trip, and like we just wanted to like really go all out. And I'm going to talk more about that in a minute, but roughly we spent just a smidge over $3,000. So another question I got asked is, with the travel agency, well, let me jump to this one. How much are the TAs? Disney travel agents are free. So they're free to use. I believe Disney pays them. I'm not sure how that works, but for you, they're free. And that is why it is just like, I would always go with a TA. Honestly, even if there was a fee, I'd probably pay it because it's been just such a like awesome experience. So then the other question is, the other question I got was, can the travel agent help with like going to Orlando, since like, not Orlando, Universal Studios, since it's an Orlando area like Disney. And I asked Denise, and she said that yes, they help with that. They can help with any vacation. They can book your flights if you need them to. Like, they can do it all. They can do as much or as little as you want them to do. And yes, they can plan your trip for starting at Disney and going to Orlando. I mean, and she said there's people within their agency that like plan. It's not just Disney. It's anywhere you want to go. If you want to go to Greece or wherever, they have people that do that, or just different specialists within the company. So they do it all. So if you want to go to Disney and you want to go to Universal, they can create a vacation for you where you're doing both. So that answers 3 of the questions right off the bat. So am I worried that Jackson won't remember his vacation? I am not worried at all. I actually remember my Disney trips from, he's gonna be, let's see, we're going in February and he turns 3 at the end of May. So I can remember our vacations from like when I was 3-ish. And like I was just talking to my dad about it recently when we were talking about Cinderella's Royal Table. I said I remember sitting there and eating a pot pie, and like I remember so much from such a young age. But the thing is, to be honest, we don't care if he remembers like the vacations we take and stuff. We've got photos of it, and it's not about like, I need him to remember this. It's in that moment, he is so excited and so happy, and just like, for him in that moment, it's awesome, and that's all that matters to us. If you can only go to Disney once, then yeah, like I'd wait till, you know, your kid is older. But for us, that's not an issue. We plan on going multiple times. So for us, I look back on my childhood, and every trip was different. Like being very young, things are completely different and perceived differently as to when, you know, I got a little older. And so like every trip in itself was completely different. And so, yeah, it doesn't really matter to us if he doesn't remember. He might be like me. I have a really good memory from childhood, and then some people don't, but it doesn't matter because we have pictures, and all we care about is in that moment. It was super freaking magical to him. And like, he saw Elsa, who he's in love with, and Mickey Mouse, and it's going to be like in that moment, it's going to be amazing for him. And that's all that really matters to us. But if you can only go, I would say if you can only go one time and it's a once in a lifetime trip, then yeah, I'd probably wait till your kids are a little older, because then they can ride everything too. Okay, so another question I got is, are we driving or flying? We are flying, and we are using a bunch of points we've accumulated. We use revolving credit with our credit cards, so we'll put stuff on there and then pay it off. Like everything we did with the renovations in the house and stuff, I was putting on my Disney card and paying off. And now when we go to Disney, I just got in the mail my Disney rewards, so I have a huge chunk of money to spend at Disney just from credit card points. Like when Jackson wants things, souvenirs, like it doesn't matter because we have like $700 to spend. So we do the same thing with our airline stuff. So basically, I think because you can't just like book it and everything's completely free. There's like fees for using your points. But I think with luggage and everything, it came out to like $200. So other times we might drive when Jackson's older. Like when I was a child, we'd always drive and we'd stop in New Orleans, and I'd like to do stuff like that. But right now, while he's smaller, we'll probably stick to flying. Another question I got, which I feel like I kind of answered, is it really possible for a family on a tight budget? It totally is possible. You just maybe either want to stay off property, not get a meal plan, drive, pack your food, which are all things we had to do in my childhood. Like when I say we went a lot, it wasn't because we were wealthy. My dad is a police officer. He worked endless extra jobs to be able to take us. My mom was she was a bank teller. They didn't have a ton of money. And we always drove. When we got older, we stayed off property. We packed our lunches. It is doable on a budget. It just depends on like what you want and what your budget is. So also they took 3 kids, which I'm only taking 1. And another thing is, if you take your kid before they turn 3, they are free, which obviously next time we go, it'll be more expensive, because if we get a meal plan, then Jackson needs a meal plan and he'll need a park ticket. But right now he will be under 3. And so he doesn't need park tickets. That saves us money. He doesn't need a meal plan, or doesn't qualify to get a meal plan because he's not on a ticket. So that saved a lot of money. I'm trying to get through like the simple ones. And then another one was, am I worried about my fibro? I am not. And you'll see in a minute when I go over our trip why we did the deluxe dining plan, so that a lot of times in the park we're stopping and we're eating and we're taking time to rest. Jackson's younger, so I'm not going to be running from roller coaster to roller coaster or getting here and there. And I feel like this is going to be a much more like relaxed trip. When we've been to Disneyland, when we go, there's only been one time I needed a wheelchair, and you can rent them there, or scooters. And then also, if you have fibro and you want to go to Disney, which if I get to the point right before the trip where I'm like, oh my God, I go into a terrible flare and I'm struggling to walk, then you can actually rent off property and they'll bring it to your hotel, and then you have the scooter for the week and you're there. And I feel like it's pretty reasonable. There's like a daily fee. You can also rent strollers and stuff. We're taking our own, but I'm not worried about it because I know that option's there. Even in the park, if I get super fatigued from my fibromyalgia, I can go to like the front area and rent a scooter. So I'm not really that stressed about it at all, to be honest. All right, and this was a big question. And aside from how much I spent, this was like one of the most asked questions. I think I left the sheet of paper here. I literally did homework for you guys for this. Like I printed things out. So the question was, what can Jackson even ride? Or what can kids ride? Or somebody just asked, kids rides, question mark, or, you know, just, I think the gist of it is like, at his age, is there really much he can do? So honestly, even if he was a baby, and I kind of wish we had took him younger now just to experience this, they don't have to ride rides. There's rides that have, especially in Disneyland too, there's rides that have like no restrictions, no height restrictions, anything like that. but it's also just the experience, the parades, the fireworks, the castle, you know, like just like character meals. There's so much you can do that don't involve rides. My very last trip to Disney as a kid, we took my grandparents, and they didn't really ride anything, but they had a fantastic experience because it's just like the environment you're in is like amazing. But I did come up with a list of like giving you guys information. So to be quite honest, I could name more rides he can do than he can't do. There's actually in comparison to like all the rides, there's a fewer amount of rides he can't ride than like he can, because he's taller. He's able to ride a couple of the roller coasters, and we got fast passes to them. Like Slinky Dog Ride is the newer one, and he's going to be able to do that. But like, okay, in Magic Kingdom, I'm going to show you guys this. Okay, so from here to here is all the rides in Magic Kingdom, okay? And he can't ride Tomorrowland Speedway. Actually, some of these are old because Stitch's Great Escape isn't there anymore. Like Splash Mountain, Space Mountain, which if he was 40 inches, he could do Splash Mountain. Big Thunder Mountain's 40 inches too. And that's it for what he can't do in Magic Kingdom. Like that's it. So he's able to do Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. We've got fast passes for that. He's able to do Goofy's Barnstormer. Like literally everything else doesn't have any restrictions for heights. So, and some of that is like, you know, Dumbo's Flying with Elephants, the Haunted Mansion, Small World, Jungle Cruise, Liberty Square Boat Ride, the Mad Tea Party, Magic Carpets with Aladdin, Main Street Vehicles, the Mini Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, I don't think, Peter Pan's Flight, Pirates of the Caribbean, like the Carousel. I mean, there's just like so much stuff he can do. So I hope that makes sense for the Magic Kingdom. That's a Magic Kingdom. So there is, it says age restrictions, but I don't think that's a thing. 3 for like Space Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain. I guess like they would say somebody under that age wouldn't be developmentally ready. I don't know, like it might be too scary. I don't know. So in Magic Kingdom, there's literally like 3 things he can't do. And he's very adventurous. So it wasn't even a question in my mind. Like every day he talks about being excited to ride the roller coasters, and we have season passes to the water park, and he does every slide that he's allowed to do, like based on height. So we're not really that worried about it. So that's in the Magic Kingdom. And then in Epcot, he cannot do, and I honestly don't know if he'll be 40 inches tall by the time we get there. He's over 38 inches tall. So if he has another growth spurt, he could easily be tall enough to do everything in the Magic Kingdom except for the Tomorrowland Speedway and Space Mountain. Then he'd be able to do Splash Mountain and Big Thunder Mountain. So it's the same situation in Epcot. So the smallest growth spurt might change some of this, and some of these might not be a thing anymore. This looks like an older list, but he won't be able to do the test track. It's a 40-inch height requirement, but I mean, he could. Then Mission to Space is 44 inches. Soaring is 40. Body War is 40. Sum of All Thrills, I really don't know what any of this is because I haven't been to Epcot in so long. So honestly, there's more at Epcot he can't do. Now, that being said, Epcot is more of an adult park to me, with the exception of Frozen, which is the reason we're going to Epcot. Frozen Ever After has absolutely no height requirement. Neither does like The Sea with Nemo and Turtle Talk with Crush. And there's stuff that doesn't have any height requirement in there. And then he's going to, oh yeah, the Grand Fiesta Tour we're going to be eating in this Mexican restaurant, and there's a little ride in there. So really, like, the rides at there are more adult geared, so there is less he can do in Epcot, but if your child loves Frozen, I wouldn't skip Epcot. And Epcot's really fun for parents, so we're doing a half a day in Epcot, and I'll get to that in a minute. And then Hollywood Studios, he is not tall enough yet for Tower of Terror. That's 40 inches, but I don't know if I would put him on that. I feel like that might scare him, the dropping. Star Wars Tour is 40 inches. I definitely probably would put him on that if he grows a smidge. Then Rock and Roller Coaster is more for bigger kids, 48 inches. And then everything else on this list has no height requirement. And then Animal Kingdom, the Avatar Flight of Passage, which is really popular, is 44 inches. And Dinosaurs is 40 inches, which we're not going to Animal Kingdom, but it's the same kind of situation. Expedition Everest and stuff like that. There is stuff in there that they can do, and then there's very few things that they can't that is more geared to older kids. So I hope that gives you a good idea. If your child is, I mean, Jackson's over 38 inches and he's going to be able to do a lot. So I'm going to jump into what we're actually doing because it's getting really long. All right, now on to our vacation. I'm going to talk to you guys about it and the things we're doing. I'm not going to be giving out dates or anything like that. Obviously, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll probably see in my stories when we're there, and that's fine. But just like for the, I guess like that, I know it sounds weird to say it's the same reason I don't use our last name online. It's just like kind of like a way to protect my family, to not say exactly when we're going to be there till we're there, because at that point, if you're there, then like, yeah, sure, hey, how are you doing? But I also don't like, you just never know with the internet, people can be crazy. So I'm not going to say exactly when we'll be there, but it will be in February, and y'all will just have to see on Instagram, because I probably won't post any Disney vlogs till we get back. So we are flying, and I did it so that we get there, we fly out in the morning, and we have like a day to, you know, check into our hotel, check out Disney Springs. I kind of want to take Jackson to, I think, is it Art Animation, where they have like really cool, it's like a really cool resort, and we're not staying there. We're staying at a moderate hotel. We're staying at Port Orleans. And I got the, what is the suite called? It's like a royal suite. So in the headboards, there's like magical fireworks, and I just thought he would think that was so fun. So that's where we're staying. But I do want to take him to, like, I think it's Art Animation that has the Cars area of like, with like Lightning McQueen and stuff. So we do want to kind of take him over there, and then we do want to check out Disney Springs. And our first night there, we are going to eat at T-Rex, which is kind of like if you've ever been to Rainforest Cafe, it's like dinosaur version, and he's obsessed with dinosaurs. So we actually booked T-Rex 2 times, like our first day and our last day, because he's so obsessed with dinosaurs. He's very familiar with Rainforest, because I think they just closed a location here, but Houston has had 2, and then there's one in Galveston which people go to a lot. So Rainforest is like, we can go there anytime, but T-Rex, I was like, I definitely want to do that twice. So we're going our first and our last day. We did get the deluxe meal plan, so you can get a quick service meal plan, which is, I think it's 2 quick service meals a day. You can get I don't remember what the next one is. But it's like 1 quick service, 1 sit down, and then all of them I think come with 2 snacks per day per person. And then we got the like top tier one where like if you want every single meal can be sit down, it can be character, and I think it's 3 per day on those meals on the deluxe meal plan that we got. Yeah, so that's our total, and it's spread out over 4 days rather than Jackson's moving. So we're going to be there like Monday through Friday. So our meal plan is for every day you're in the hotel. It doesn't really, like, you can spread it out over, like we can use it Monday through Friday, but it counts as like, if you think about it, 4 days, because it counts as the night you're in the hotel, if that makes sense. So another great thing about going with the deluxe is we can kind of spread the meals, because we're probably not going to want to eat that. Disney has like huge portions from what I remember, and we're not going to want to eat that much, I feel like. So what we ended up doing is like we mixed some with like our first day we get there and the day we leave into 5 days, instead of using it all in the 4 days. So I hope that makes sense. I'm going to go over just, so we're going to be eating at T-Rex twice. And then we're going to be eating at Tony's Town Square restaurant, which is like kind of like an Italian restaurant, because it has the Fantasy Parade package, which gives you VIP seating for the parade. So we're going to be eating there. I think that's the first day. And Crystal Palace the first day, which is a Winnie the Pooh buffet, which y'all know Jackson loves Winnie the Pooh. And these are all table service that I'm going to mention. And then Cinderella's Royal Table, the second day, the day we split with Epcot, we're going to be in the morning we're going to be having breakfast at Cinderella's Royal Table. And that's also the same day Jackson gets a haircut. So when we first get to the park, he's going to get his haircut in his Prince Charming costume, his very first haircut. And then we're going to go and have breakfast with all the princesses, with him dressed as Prince Charming, with his haircut. I can't even, my heart, like, that's going to be like our breakfast. And so he's going to be in his prince costume with his fresh new hairdo. And yeah, and it's all the princesses, and you eat in the castle, and it counts. It's like a very nice meal, and they include the gratuity and everything, but it counts as 2 table services. So if you have a meal plan, it takes 2 meals instead of 1, basically, because it's like fancy schmancy dining, I guess. I don't know, but I am so excited for that. Like, I can't even tell you. And so we are eating at Cinderella's Royal Table. My sister ate there last time. She said she did not like the food, but we're going to breakfast. So I've heard really great things about breakfast. I don't know, like maybe if you guys have eaten there, let me know in the comments what you think about the rest of the time. But I've heard really amazing things about breakfast, and I'm super excited. Then we're eating at the San Angel Inn. I am not saying that right. Like, my printer, like, ran out of ink at that part. When we go to Epcot, we'll be having a dinner. So we're gonna eat, like, 2 meals a day. Then we have, like, 2 snacks. And then that's how we split up our meals into the 5 days. Making sure Jackson's not waking up. This turned to a really long video. And then the day that we're in Hollywood Studios, we're eating at the 50s Primetime Cafe, which I used to eat at with my family when we were little. Like, we ate there several times when I was younger, and I really loved it because it's just such a cute, like, it's just so cute. It's like walking into the 50s, and I remember the waitress would always like get on my brother and my dad if like their elbows were on the table. And like if my brother didn't finish his food, she like spoon fed him a bite. It was just, I really enjoyed that restaurant. So I'm super excited to go back to it. And then Minnie's seasonal dine at Hollywood and Vine with the Fantasmic package, which I think is VIP seating for, it's not fireworks, but whatever happens at night, I guess, in Hollywood Studios. It's been, I don't really know. It's been a long time, but anything that gives us good seating, I'm like taking it. So then our last day when we leave, we're doing Chef Mickey's, and we're like, our flight doesn't go out till late the Friday we leave. So that gives us time to like go back to Disney Springs and, you know, not feel rushed to the airport. So we're going to do Chef Mickey's that morning, which is a character breakfast, and then T-Rex again for lunch. And then we'll go back and get our luggage and get on the Magical Express, which if you fly, it's really convenient because like you don't need a rental car or a taxi or anything. Disney buses you for free from the airport to your hotel, and you don't even have to go get your luggage. They send you tags, and so we'll put these tags on our luggage, and once we give them here in the Houston airport, we basically don't have to worry about them again. Like Disney picks them up, the luggages that have that tag, they pick them up, and you might not get it in your room right away like that, but it'll show up in your room by that evening. So you basically don't have to worry about waiting for your luggage either. You just get on the bus. So I think that's really like really, really convenient. And then we don't have to take a car seat, because in any buses, I think pretty much all states, like big buses like that, you can't put car seats in. So it's not a very long ride from what I'm told. It makes me really nervous because y'all know how I'm about car seats, but at the same time, I know like whenever I've been on those big like buses that bus you, like they don't have car seats. So it's like our meal plan. And that also left us two table service, two remaining table service or quick service. Basically we have 2 meals left, and I figured it was better that way because then we can grab some quick service. But basically the first day is the only day that we have breakfast, lunch, and dinner booked like for sitting down. And then the second day we have breakfast and we have dinner, and that gives us time to have quick service at Epcot or before we leave Disney, which would be kind of weird because we're probably going to leave as soon as we eat the Magic Kingdom. And then the last day, I think we have 2 meals planned because we were just going to get a quick service breakfast. I did originally have the Be Our Guest, which is where you eat in like Belle's and Beast's Castle-ish, whatever. It was like a quick service breakfast. But what we ended up doing, another thing that cost more money that we did, was we did the early magic or whatever. So basically we get into the park early for Fantasyland, like before everyone else. So the actual park opens at 9, I think, and we get into the park at 7:45. So there's a bunch of rides, like we can ride the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and it gives you an opportunity to ride a bunch of rides before everyone else is let into the park without like lines and stuff. And then it also has a free breakfast, so we're probably gonna hit up as many rides as we can and then go eat once the park's about to open, because I think the breakfast runs later after the park's already open. So that's pretty much our plan. And then that way we have our fast passes to use while we're there at the Magic Kingdom. And the rest of the time, it's just like really leisurely. Like we'll watch the parade, we'll go to our meals. And like, that's the thing, like taking a toddler, it's going to be more leisurely. We're going for like more experiences than rides, if that makes sense. And I'm trying to see, I gotta pull our fast passes so y'all know what we got. At the Magic Kingdom, we did the Jungle Cruise, Peter Pan's Flight, and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Those are recommended fast passes and things we wanted to do. But we do have access to Seven Dwarfs Mine Train with the early morning magic, and that might be like, I honestly foresee, because Jackson is such an adrenaline junkie, I feel like if we go on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, he's gonna ride that over and over and over again till we're like, okay, like I feel like we're not gonna get anything else done. But it's for him, so if that's what he wants to do, it's fine. So then at the second day, we're using our fast passes at Epcot because we'll be there after breakfast. We're going straight to Epcot, and we're getting we're doing the Seas with Nemo and Friends, Turtle Talk, and Frozen Ever After. Okay, so the main reason besides Elsa is the Mexican restaurant that I wanted to go to was my favorite restaurant of all the Disney parks as a kid. And it's like you walk in when you're in Mexico and it looks like you're in a village or something in Mexico. There's like, it looks like you're outside. It's crazy. And it just looks like you're in a Mexican city. It's like so quaint looking, and like there's, you know, like carts, like people or like shopping or whatever, and then there's like the restaurant, and it just looks like you're outside, and there's like a volcano in the background. I'm trying to remember it, but it was just like my favorite place as a kid. I don't know what about it, like just it was my favorite restaurant to eat at. So we're going for Anna, Elsa, and that Mexican restaurant. And then yeah, so that is in Epcot. our last day, our fast passes are for the first time in forever, which is a Frozen sing-along, which y'all know Jackson loves Disney on Ice and Elsa, so I figured that was like the best use of the fast pass because he loves anything Frozen. And then Voyage of the Little Mermaid is one of our fast passes, and then the big one that I cannot believe she was able to get, because in my Disney group I hear like it's so hard to get the Slinky Dog Dash, the newest roller coaster in Toy Story Land. It is so hard to get that fast pass, and I was honestly like, oh my gosh, she actually got it. So since Jackson's tall enough, we're gonna go for it. Like I said, adrenaline junkie. I feel like this video was really long, and I hope I said everything I like to give you guys information and go over our vacation well. Like I said, it doesn't have to be as expensive, but there are things we did, like the best meal plan we can get. You also get alcohol and desserts with our meal plan. So there's that. I think some of the other meal plans do have alcohol, but I know for sure ours has dessert. So we're just gonna be like in food comas walking around in the happiest place on earth. So that made ours more expensive. Our food plan, our meal plan, you know, early morning hours, stuff like that. Just little things, staying in a moderate resort instead of like a value. There's little things in there that added up. We also got travel insurance in case something happens. So anyways, you can definitely do Disney for cheaper, and I hopefully answered all your questions. This is a really long video, but it was a lot to go over, I feel like. And anyways, oh, the last thing I forgot to tell you about, if you want to get your child's haircut at Disney, it is $25, which really isn't bad for a haircut. And they like preserve their hair with like pixie dust and in the little satchel thing, and then they get special ears that say my first haircut or whatever on their first haircut or something like that on the back, and it's just super cute and magical, in their little Disney certificate for their first haircut. So that's the information on the haircut I forgot to give. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'll see you guys in my next video. I will be doing a what I'm taking to Disney. That'll probably be a very long video too, because I have been like nuts about packing and like buying stuff and being prepared, and so there will be a video for that, and hopefully it'll help you guys if you're going. Be sure, if you're interested, if you just have questions and you think you want to start planning your Disney vacation, Denise is so awesome, and she gets back to me so fast, and I'm sure she can answer any questions you guys have. I cannot recommend her enough. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. Okay guys, of course I forgot some stuff, so I want to go over that really quick. This was such a long video to edit, so hopefully I do not say things I've already said, but I forgot to tell you we did get Memory Maker, which is basically every photo they take of you in the park links to like your Magic Band, and it all goes to your account. And like a lot of people I know said they had like 500 pictures after their trip, and it's just an awesome way not to worry about taking pictures because someone else is doing it for you. That's also your ride pictures, anything like that, like when a cast member takes your photo. Also, another thing is, of course, after I filmed this, I should have checked my mailbox first because I got an amazing package from Denise, and it's got like little things for Jackson. It's so sweet, and also it's just got so much information, so much awesome information. So again, if you're interested in planning with a TA, I can't recommend Denise enough. Also, I forgot to mention that we got park hopper passes, which do cost more than I think the regular tickets. And then lastly, I forgot to mention that the meal plan comes with 2 snacks per person per day. So, I mean, it's a lot of food. And yeah, anyways, that's that. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.